Something big is coming. A change is occurring on the surface of the Earth, reflected in the activities of outer space astronomy, and the direction of humanity, and the security of the individual. There are strange and dubious changes happening in the world. Fear is running rampant. There is fear of terrorism, fear of industry puppeteers, fear of trust, fear of losing values, fear of shadows, and fear of our inner selves. I'll address all of these fears. The fear of terrorism is a basis of outside attacks, hyped up to be in our minds and weigh an anxiety on us. In extension, it is the fear of war. Although until we experience terror right on our door, many people have little to no sympathy for the terror people go through in currently war-zoned areas. Fear does not stop war, it perpetuates the possibility of it. Fear of industry puppeteers, I am referring to bankers, corporates, politicians, and international corruption, is not progressive either. Fearing these things acknowledges their power, putting our hands up, saying, "What can we do anyway?" surrenders the responsibility we have for one another and ourselves. Fear of trust is the inability for us to share responsibility with one another. If we don't have trust in each other, do we really have trust in ourselves? If we don't have trust in government or in high institutions, it makes it all the more important to trust our own abilities and instincts and those of our equal brothers. Fear of losing values is a fear that we should let go. We are entering a new age in the solar system, and the development of humanity and themes and accepted belief systems may no longer hold a position of influence. For example, the expanding tolerance of homosexuality is not an expanding territory of sex or human sexuality, but human love and the absolute birthright of every individual to give love and be loved. Expanding and exploring sex and sexuality is an issue of its own and is translating into another set of new ideals. The institution of marriage waivers. Children are born out of wedlock. This all seems scary, but this is a natural progression for a curious species. The last millennium or so has been in the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces ended the Mayan calendar in 2012, and this is what it represents. 2012 was a turning point, and the Earth and the solar system is slowly entering the age of Aquarius. This brings turbulence and a clashing of ideals from old to new. Just look at how many people have woken up in the last few years alone. More people are questioning corrupt governments, the FDA and our food quality, the environment and sustainability, the Federal Reserve and its power in the world finances, large corporations with dark motives, and threats from veiled plots. This is in tandem with the Mayans, who said awareness will awaken in 2012, and a new age of consciousness will take humanity soaring. Well, it has the potential. Humanity has the choice. Will it turn on itself? Will we turn on each other? Will governments bring an end to all? Or will the people stand together, stand strong, and demand justice and fairness? Fearing shadows leads to us rejecting our innate shadows. Ignoring the negative does not solve it. Working through it and offering solutions solves it. This transcends to a global scale. Ignoring injustice perpetuates it. Yet darkness isn't combated with aggression. Darkness does not extinguish darkness. Light does. Martin Luther King Jr. put it best. So how do we fear ourselves? We fear within ourselves not that we are weak, but that we are powerful beyond measure. The more we see negativity and filter through it and respond with fear, the more that fear becomes an internal reflection. It is in the human condition for the individual to prescribe itself to its social surroundings. Emotions are powerful and influential. Have you ever been around someone who is in a foul mood and you found your own morale being dragged down? Or have you ever been feeling down and caught a contagious smile from someone? Emotions and thoughts are energy processed through the brain. Fear and anger produce different brain waves than happiness and love do. Being aware that the energy of our thoughts actually does influence us is critical. Humanity is interconnected spiritually and always has been. Psychologically, we are getting more connected on a physical level, understanding how our brains work, how our cultures and societies differ, and why. Now we are physically connected in every sense of the word. We have unprecedented access to brothers and sisters around the world. The global network that has been created is a gift that we, the populace, can use for positive outcomes. Handling the earth gently is a priority that benefits every living person and thing on the planet. At the same time, science and technology will continue to be productive and inventive. Well, what will we do with that production and inventiveness? This transition period, this short time frame of a few decades, is a turning point. I don't mean to sound fruity or flowery or overly mystical. I do plan to come out with a video that is specific and geared as much as possible to the newcomer. To the people who are awake to the agenda, I urge you to consider the awakening of the consciousness. If you are interested, take a look at the links I've provided below. In closing, the main message I want to get across here is this. Attitude and thought makes all the difference. Fear does nothing except hold us back. At worst, it makes us turn on each other, and this is not the time to be doing so. Be strong and find courage. Even online, when you see an ignorant or hateful comment, just don't get yourself involved and contribute to the fire of pointless anger. The internet is an important tool. Most importantly, try to spread love. Just doing so within your personal life can make a difference to the morale around you. Redirect your thoughts to positive ones. It is an exercise for the mind. It will help you in many aspects of life. You are your mind. What you think, you become. You hold the key to your happiness. Spread that happiness, for hopelessness and sadness are not an option at this point. Changing our thoughts and attitudes on a large scale will be the foundation for which we take command over our mind and energy and consequently begin to take back control over our lives.